Good morning, Calvary. Friends, family, it is an honor and a privilege to bring forth the word. It is a humbling honor to do so. So much, in fact, this morning as I was exiting out the door, the Lord literally brought me to my knees with his word in my hands to the point where I have torn my pants. It is a reminder of who God is and who we are. And that is my hope for today, that we are reminded of that. The word of the Lord comes to you today from the book of Isaiah, chapter 40. Comfort, comfort my people, says your God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem and proclaim to her that her hard service has been completed, that her sin has been paid for, that she has received from the Lord's hand double for all of her sin. A voice of one calling, in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Every valley shall be raised up, every mountain and hill made low. The rugged ground shall be made level, and the rough places plain. And the glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all people together will see it. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken. A voice says, cry out. And I say, what shall I cry? All people are like grass, and all their faithfulness is like the flowers of the field. The grass withers and the flowers fall because the breath of the Lord blows on them. Surely the people are grass. The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever. You who bring good news to Zion, go up high on a mountain. Who bring good news to Jerusalem, lift up your voice with a shout. Lift it up, do not be afraid. Say to the town of Judah, here is your God. See, the sovereign Lord comes with power, and he rules with a mighty hand. See, his reward is with him, and his recompense accompanies him. He tends to his flock like a shepherd. He gathers his lambs in his arms, and he carries them close to his heart. And he gently leads those with young. This is the word of the Lord. Comfort, comfort is what God says to the prophet. Comfort my people. Who are these people? These people in need of comfort. These people that God calls my people. They are a people who have turned their backs on God time and time again. A people who have chosen other idols and other gods. A people who have seen the hand of God move in their favor, but said it was not enough. We want something else. We want the newest, the greatest, the next thing. I know a little bit about wanting something. I was that kid who every time the Sears and JCPenney's catalog came to the house, I would eagerly go find a pen and circle all the things that I wanted in the catalog. And I would show my dad and say, this is what I want, this is what I want. And he would just smile and say, it's nice to want. But I realized it was a matter of not being content. Much like the people of God. Much like us. But despite our condition, God says, these are my people. Despite the fact that we have turned away, he says, these are my people. Much like the little one who makes it very clear in the room that the toy right there, though they may not be playing with it, is mine. God also is not interested in sharing his people with other gods and other idols. These are my people. And it is important, my friends, to remember that we are God's people. Because often we forget who we belong to. Whether it's because we're busy trying to be what the world says we need to be, or if our circumstances cause us to forget in the darkness and the pain of sin. Yet, God says, comfort my people. Comfort. Comfort. In one of the commentaries, someone said it's repeated twice so that we get the message. Not necessarily for the prophets to make sure that they're doing their job, like when we ask our children to do things over and over and over. Yet, still, it's not done. But it is because that sometimes it is hard to be comforted. And I'm sure it was not an easy task at that time to bring comfort to a people who had lost so much, who were in a state of despair, unknown, darkness, not aware of what they were waiting for. What was next? But it is clear the command was to comfort. I think, how? What was God asking them to do? How were they to bring comfort to these people? I think that of myself often. How do I bring comfort to the hurting, the broken, the lost? What do I say? Do I send a card? Do I make a casserole? Do I show up? I don't know. But as the text continues, it says, prepare the way for the Lord. That, my friends, is the job of comfort. Making a straight path so that God can be revealed. Making the mountains and the hills low, raising the valley, making the crooked spaces straight, so that we have a direct line to our God. Removing barriers so that the comforter of all comforts can do his work. In my line of work with Young Life, the mission is to introduce kids to Christ and in a growing relationship with him. And we do that by the means of relational ministry. We go to where kids are. We meet them where they're at. And then we have this thing called Club, which is our gathering every week. And we call this a party with a purpose. Now, there's some people in this room who may attend Young Life, and so keep this to yourselves. But I remember when I first started with Young Life, someone said to me, if there's ever a time where you question whether Young Life is really a Christian organization, come and talk to me because I will remind you that it is. I came into Young Life not so young and went to my first club and must admit I was a little, I'm not sure if this is for me. Crazy mixers, messy games, silly skits. But the purpose was to remove the barriers for our kids so that when the time came for them to hear the word, they were ready. I'll admit, in some ways, that sometimes it's not my cup of tea, but I will do what it takes to remove barriers for kids who are in dark spaces, who have little hope, who are in despair, know who God is. And my friends, we are to be those comforters. How are we creating spaces for people to know who God is? Or are we too busy trying to maintain our own line of communication with God? How are we preparing the way for God's return in the midst of our own chaos and our own ruins? Ultimately, it comes down to what brings comfort. To know who God is and to know that we belong to him. To know that we have a faithful God who does not leave us or forsake us. And to know that we belong to him. A year ago today, I entered into that valley. I entered a space of ruin. And I remember being in that place where comfort seemed like a joke. But God remained faithful. And others spoke in. I remember about 2 or 3 in the morning crying out for rest. desperate. And I remember God said, from within, you know who I am. And I remember thinking, yes, I do. I know who God is. I know who God is in a way that I never thought possible. And in that darkness, I experienced comfort I had never experienced before because I knew who I was. Because I knew who God is still to this very day. Friends, the Lord is near. He will not leave us or forsake us. He is our strength and He is our shield. He is the comfort in the waiting. He is better than a casserole. I have seen and felt the power of God through His strength, the gift of unexplainable peace, and a feeling of steadiness from a firm foundation. A foundation that was laid long ago on 449 East River Street in Muskegon, Michigan. In a home that reminded me daily of the importance of knowing who God is and who I am. I came across this song that has brought great comfort to me, and I hope the words will bring great comfort to you as well. He is my faithful Father, calling me out of the dark. Night cannot whisper away what He said in the light. He is a firm foundation, my anchor won't be moved. Storms may collide, but my soul is on fire in His word. Listen to the sound of power on my lips. Jesus has broken the curse. He has never lost a battle. Who are you, great mountain, that you should not follow? Jesus defeated the darkness. He has never lost a battle, and He never will, He never will, and He never will, He never will, and He never will, He never will, and He never will. He is my faithful Father, calling me out of the dark. Night cannot whisper away what He says in the light. He is a firm foundation, my anchor won't be moved. Storms may collide, but my soul is on fire has never lost a battle. Who are you, great mountain, that you should not bow low? Jesus has defeated the darkness. He has never lost a battle. Oh, he has never lost. He has never lost. Christ Redeemer, we remember he has won the war. Jesus mighty overcomer, our defender has conquered. Christ Redeemer, we remember he has won the war. Jesus mighty overcomer, our defender has conquered. When listen to the sound of power on my lips, Jesus has broken the curse. He has never lost a battle. Who are you, great mountain, that you should not bow low? Jesus defeated the darkness. He has never lost a battle. And he never will, he never will. And he never will, he never will. And he never